Hi everyone, it's time for another edition of Coach's Corner with the head coach of the Ponca City football team, Rob Fry. This week the Wildcats play Bixby on Friday night at Sullivan Stadium. It's the last regular season home game. It's also senior night, and we'll talk about that very special group of people that will be making their final appearance at Sullivan Stadium. As an encore, the Ponca City Wildcats gave Ponca City fans quite a thrill last week as the 8th game of the season proved to be a very fruitful one for the Wildcats. 35-31 victory over a very good Sand Springs team. Coach Fry, congratulations. I know that you guys have worked very, very hard this year, come close. It had to be a great feeling Thursday night.
Oh, it was. It was a wonderful feeling, and you just feel better for the kids, and that was the bottom line. They came out. They didn't quit. You know, I got a little worried right there when we were down by 11, thinking, "Holy cow, what's going to happen here?" But you know, they came out, did exactly what they needed to do. You know, defensively and offensively, took the ball down the field and made some great plays. And defensively, we hung in there and didn't, break. You know, we bent a little bit, but that's what's going to happen against offenses like that. And you know, the kids did a great job. The assistant coaches did a wonderful job, and come out ahead 35-31, and that's what it's all about. Sang the fight song and had a great time.
We talked many times about the number one thing is you never give up, and after a couple of very difficult weeks, your team was really put to the test. Not only the team, but coaches, everybody associated with Ponca City football, and I think you probably had an inkling that we were due a couple of breaks, we were due a good game, and when you play well, good things happen. Better yet, when you don't quit.
Right, that's what happened. We had some luck involved, and we keep preaching to these kids about just hanging in there, doing the right thing, coming out and practicing hard and all that. And we had a good week of practice, and they carried right on over to Friday night. And that, if the kids would just keep believing in themselves, having some heart, and digging down in their gut and pulling things out and doing what they've got to do as a team, as a unit, as a family, then things like that happened, and we could be sitting here with 4 W's, right now. But we're not. But so the nail is that we're sitting there with 2, but that's better than not having any.
Better than 1 or 0.
That's exactly sure. Right. And I'm just proud of the kids.
I was trying to think back in your 3 years as our head coach. I think this is the best team one of your teams have beaten. I think Sand Springs was the best team we've beaten under your guidance.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right, Phil. I mean, they come out and they got that big old quarterback, 6'3", 6'4", and if you let him sit back there and throw the ball, he's gonna kill you. And what happened was our secondary covered some people up, which in turn helped the defensive front to get in, and then by the same token, you flip it around, the defensive front was getting in, so the secondary didn't have to cover as well. They made him rush his throws and things, so it all worked together. The whole teammates all come in together and played, and we got some coverage sacks, and then we got some sacks and from the defensive line, and got some, tackles for loss and everything. I mean, it all worked out. And I mean, in that little box, we got the tackles and the unassisted tackles and all that stuff. But we also got the pass breakups, the tackles for losses, the big plays, interceptions like that. And this week there were some marks in there. And and the bottom line, it all pulled out and happened. It was great. It was a great deal, great W.
The reason I say Sand Springs might have been the best team that we've beaten in the last 3 years, they had beaten 2 teams that we had lost to by a combined score of 93-13. They had just beaten Enid and Bartlesville, 2 teams that have beaten your Wildcats. So they not only are a good team, but they came in playing very, very well at a very high level. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. They're in a good spot right now. Ponca City put a little dent into that. But that was a team that came in full of confidence. And, although your team has come up on the wrong side of the scoreboard this year a few times, there are games where we play with a lot of confidence too. One thing or another, a bad quarter. But this week we just didn't allow those things to happen.
Right, and you're right. I mean, Sand Springs is a good ball club. They came in off 2 W's, ready to get their 3rd one in a row and go on to the into the playoff picture and all that. And they've got the Wausau and Bixby coming up, or we've got Bixby and Wausau coming up. So, they were feeling pretty stinking good about themselves. And we came in and we put we didn't want them to get that W and go on to the playoffs just yet. So, and that's what the kid says, that we want to send them away here in a bad mood on Thursday night. So, and we did. And they had their daubers down in the dirt a little bit after the ball game, and that's fine. We went over and sang the fight song, or tried to. Let's put it that way. I mean, they played a whole lot better game than they could sing, I guarantee, and that's me included. So, but Sand Springs is, they've got those great athletes and that running back. Good Lord, I mean, he could start for a lot of people, and they've got the receivers, and then that nose guard. Our offensive line did a well of a job on him. We did some things, to try to keep him out of the picture, so to speak, and we ran the ball some, and that enabled our receivers and Brent to be able to throw the thing, and overall it was just a great night. Where the whole facets of the game come together, and the coverage, kickoff coverage teams, we didn't let them get outside and get down the sideline on us. So we had we've been a little bit on that, but Brett, he's kicking for us, and had the first one blocked, so Coach McHenry adjusted that and took care of that, and we got the rest of them to go in, and it was a fun night. It really was.
Well, the Wildcats sent Sand Springs on a 3-day weekend in a bad mood, and as they go down the highway in a bad mood, just the opposite. Boy, what a nice thing it is to win that Thursday game and have an extra day where you don't have to think about that game. You can think about a victory.
Oh, it's great. And we talked to the kids just a little briefly afterwards, and then we went to sing the fight song, and then I didn't get to see them. They had just all dispersed and all that stuff. But it makes for a good weekend after that. I mean, we had a good time coming in the locker room. There, a bunch of them still in there dancing around and all that stuff, and that's what they deserve. And that's what people don't understand, that we spend all that time together. We spend more time with them than their folks do, basically. And they've been down the dumps a little bit, and the heads have been down and all that, and then you get that W on a Thursday night this week, and it carries over for the rest of the year. It really does. And we'll come out so Monday and see what happens, and we'll send our JV to Sand Springs tonight and Monday night, and then we'll practice Tuesday and Wednesday and put everything in the barn, hay in the barn Thursday, and get out ready for the Spartans to come to town.
Well, Friday night's Bixby in town. Coach, it's week 9. It's the last regular season home game. Hard to believe.
Right, you're right. I mean, sit there and it's a 24/7, 12-month deal, all for the rest of the time anyway. But it just seems like yesterday when we started this thing, and all the 115-degree weather and all that, and it's still 80 degrees out there today. But and I keep the seniors it'll hit them this week. And you sit there and try to preach to them, say, guys, do everything you can, go 100%, and because it's going to be over with in a hurry, Phil. And then finally, oh yeah, Coach, it's here. I mean, it's over with, and it's senior night, and it's a sad night after the ball game, because the seniors are played their last home game at Sullivan Stadium, but it happens every year. That's just part of it, and you want them to graduate and you want them to go on, so you just keep smiling, go on.
Well, Thursday night, the Wildcats with a big victory. This Friday night, Bixby comes to town, and the Spartans are 1-7. Like everybody else, though, Coach, they've got a good ball club and very dangerous. Yeah,
they do. And everywhere I've been this weekend, I heard, you got to win this weekend. No, I mean it's one of those deals. They're just like us. Yeah, they could have won 2 or 3 more ball games, but we haven't, and they haven't. And they've got a good ball club, got great tradition. The coaching staff over there does a well of a job. It's going to be whoever comes ready to play and who doesn't have the miscues and all that. So it'll be another slobber knocker, hopefully, and close one, and because I don't think there's anybody, with the lower teams that we're in is going to blow you out. And I think hopefully we'll go out and we'll be ready to play, and I guarantee you they'll come over here ready to play, and we just got to take care of business.
Well, Friday night, we hope that you'll be at Sutherland Stadium. Coach will be honoring those senior football players. If you could talk a little bit about how that's going to work, because it will be the last time they'll run through that locker room and out that big cat head.
Right. I mean, we'll still run through the cat head, I think, over there at Wasso. But the seniors, we'll line them up. Start about 5 after 7, I think, is when they're going to do it. And we have cheerleaders, the high steppers, band members. Well, I think band's going to do theirs at halftime. And then us football players, and they'll take care of that before kickoff. And it's some of these, a lot of them have played, since they were sophomores, and done everything and anything we've asked them to do. So it'll be a sad night when they step out there on Sullivan Stadium for the last time, and then it'll be even sadder when it's over with and that'll be the last ball game they play. But it's just one of those deals. You know, you hate to see them go, but then you know that time's coming. And then, you know, I've been doing it for 29 years, and it happens. It's a sad deal every year, but life goes on.
Like everything else, though, Coach, that sadness be a little better if they could win that last
You
ball
betcha.
game.
I mean, it'll make it a whole lot better senior night, you know, if we come out and beat Bixby and, you know, get that third W.
Absolutely. Coach, congratulations. Appreciate your time. Rob
Well,
Fry,
thank you.
Ponca City football coach this week. Ponca City and Bixby at Sullivan Stadium Friday night at 7:30. For Coach Fry, Phil Turney on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.